Auditor General said after she exposed the ArriveCAN with this $60 million in spending she's been able to find. She says the RCMP, whom she just met about the scandal, will now have to go to court to get a production order to get all of the documents that the Prime Minister is covering up. If the Prime Minister really has nothing to hide in his ArriveCAN affair, then why won't he release the documents to both the police and the parliamentary committees investigating so we can get to the bottom of this scandal?
The Honourable Minister for Public Works and...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. After having thanked and lauded the work of the Auditor General, our colleague wouldn't certainly want to pretend that she's not able to do her job.
Maybe he'll get it next time.
Her integrity and her independence are essential to the work of the government. We are grateful for what she does, and we're grateful for what she will be able to continue doing.
If you got a hairline like that, why don't you just cut it all off? You just shave your whole head.
Well, actually, she pointed out that she can't even total up the full cost of the ArriveCAN app because many of the documents were still hidden from her, either because they've been destroyed by corrupt Liberal government officials or because the Prime Minister is having them hidden. And now the RCMP will have to get a production order to get all the documents that are being deprived of the parliamentary committees investigating. So once again, a simple yes or no question. Will the Prime Minister hand over every single document that refers to the ArriveCAN or GC strategies, yes or no?
So he's actually not in the House today. He's in Winnipeg.
Mr. Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition knows very well that our government is collaborating with parliamentary committees. The Office of the Auditor General, the Border Services Agency is doing an internal review and investigation with respect to many of these matters, and officials have from the very beginning referred to the RCMP any and all information where they think it might be appropriate for the RCMP to investigate. The government will always cooperate with these lawful authorities to ensure that they can do the work that Canadians properly expect them to do.
Always will. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, the ArriveCAN scandal is so bad that even former NDP leader Tom Mulcair has taken note. He said, but with the revelations of the past few days, I have to face the facts. This is the first major Canadian political scandal since the sponsorship scandal, and it's likely to be even bigger. Given that the NDP's own former leader is saying this Prime Minister is not worth the cost or corruption, why are they keeping him in power?
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we thought that that level of exaggeration would be exclusive to the Leader of the Opposition. I can't speak for Mr. Mulcair. What I can tell Canadians, Mr. Speaker, is that the government takes these circumstances extraordinarily seriously. We accept the recommendations of the Auditor General. We have at all times worked with parliamentary committees and senior officials to ensure they have the tools necessary to investigate these matters and, of course, to hold to account those that may have done something inappropriate.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaking of partisanship, Mr. Speaker, yesterday the Minister of Housing unleashed a vicious attack on himself. He said the Liberal government is presiding over what he called a generational moral failure because so many people cannot find a place to live. A record number of 30 different homeless encampments in Halifax alone, his home province, after his Prime Minister doubled housing costs. Given that they admit they've caused this moral failure, will they reverse the policies that caused it and start building homes instead of bureaucracy?
You're gonna have ministre.